Building a digital toolbox for asynchronous learning at the elementary level. This video is part of a series developed in conjunction with the Maine Department of Education's Moose platform training materials. However, the content of this video seemed relevant to a number of educators in the field who might be shifting to remote learning and leveraging asynchronous learning opportunities for their students. Therefore, this is being broadly available for educators through the Maine Department of Education's YouTube channel. And in this session, we'll be looking at the app Powtoon. My name is John Graham, and I'm the Elementary Digital Learning Specialist at the Maine Department of Education, and I will be the one talking with you about this digital tool today. What is Powtoon? It's an app that allows you to create animated presentations and explainer videos, and because it's cloud-based software, you can use it across a multitude of platforms. And it integrates with a number of different platforms as well. It comes with a variety of templates and features and other content that's made available to help enhance your presentations. Other features of note include the ability to record voiceover narrations, the ability to import images and videos, as well as exporting your projects as videos or presentations that you can use, and lastly, the ability to build your own characters. The common advice with folks getting started with Powtoons is to go in and try looking through and trying out one of their templates. This will allow you to see a more finished product with all the parts and pieces that you can modify. So if you go into the EDU section, you have a wide variety here that you can look through that have a number of tags, and we can select one and go in and see all of the different features and components all set up. So I'm going to try this whiteboard explainer one. You can click play, get a brief preview of how it's going to look, and then you can go into the edit mode. So I'm going to start by showing you on the left-hand side, there's a series of slides, and you can adjust these in terms of their order as well as their transitions between slides. You can see there's a nice variety there. Looking at the buttons going across the left, there's this edit mode and create mode, which I'll get into in a little bit. There's a grid button there that can help with alignment and moving things around your page. There's this page setup, so depending on where you're wanting your presentation to go, you can set that up accordingly. And then there's this zoom feature, so you can zoom in and out for a little bit more delicate work. I want to shift gears next to look at the different looks that you can have. So this first one here on the left, Modern Edge, you can see down below it gives you a couple examples of the different styles. Go to Whiteboard, you can see that style is very much like a kind of hand-drawn doodle approach. Moving on to Cartoon, you can see that has a variety of cartoon approaches. Some a little more kind of retro, old school, some very cartoony in nature. The infographic one, if you're presenting information that's very data-driven, this can be really helpful. There are a lot of styles and pieces in there that you can use. And then if you're using something that relies on a lot of actual photography and real images, so to speak, you might want to use these templates. I'm going to go into one using the cartoon look. So you can see in the upper right, it shows that it's the cartoon look. But even if you're in one of those specific looks, you can still access some of the other parts and pieces. So starting on the toolbar on the upper right hand side, we're looking through the different scenes that you can use right now. So it can be a good place to get started if you're working from scratch. I'm going to select this one. So you can see it's pulling in this little talking bubble with all of these icons. It has a title in there. It has an actual cartoon character. And we can kind of modify those as needed. The backgrounds, so you can see there's a white field in the background. We could select one. So if we use this caret to drop down these locations, if you click one, you can see that it automatically goes in there. And you've got a wide variety that you can pick from. My text that's in there, so looking at my next piece about the text. So I have some text that's already in there. If you click on the text, you can see you can change everything from the font, the color, the style, even how it arranges itself on the page, how it flies in, moves around, whatever it is that you want it to do. So we can even make this one a little bit smaller to make it fit on this line. So our little 2020 what happened. This subtitle, we don't need this, so we can just click on it and we can delete it and get rid of it. So let's move down from text on to the next one of characters. So this character that's in here, say we want to swap him out for something else, I'm just going to delete him. And then I can go into the characters and you can see there are all these sets of different styles of cartoon characters. So I'm actually going to go to this retro, and I like this one with the wacky colorful shape guy. So if you hover over one, it's going to give you these different options, so different emotions that they're showing. And it being 2020, we're going to pick this very crestfallen looking guy. So I'm going to actually get rid of these wingdings that we have in here. So I'm going to go through and select all of these and delete them. And I'm going to put in some new stuff into that thought bubble. So you can see my guy has shown up down here on the bottom in our time bar there. So those items, you can click and adjust those. I'll get into that a little bit more at the end. So searching for props, on from characters to our next section, props. So you can search for things. You don't have to just go through the very limited options. And they have so many different things. So I'm going to look up sickness because we're talking about 2020. So obviously coronavirus being the deal. We're going to grab our mask emoji face. And then you can actually resize this using those buttons on the side. You can rotate it using the double arrows down there in the bottom right corner. So say this is actually a cool feature I wanted to show you. Say you want to get this guy to spin around. If you go up into the gear, you can add effects like this. Not all too different than you've perhaps used in something like PowerPoint before. So you could have that fly in from a different direction or whatever, and you can add in sound effects if that's what you'd like to do. So that's for the entrance, how it's going to appear, how it's going to exit. I'll make it fly off in some direction. Alright, so X out of that. But this A to B option actually allows you to determine how it's going to move from one point to another. You can actually resize it if you want to. Put it down here a little bit, and then I can actually use the rotate, and that will actually make it spin. So you've got a few different features like that that you can do to add a little bit to your animation. Click play, you can see it's going to spin around and get smaller and shift to that left-hand side before it flies away. Alright, going down to shapes. So kind of the same idea. You've got a bunch of different shapes. The one that in here that I really think is cool is this image frames. That you can pick one of these. So I'm going to pick the one that looks like a smartphone. And when I pick that, it's actually going to be looking for me to put an image to fill in that space on the smartphone. So I'm going to get this little adjusted around so it fits in my thought bubble the way that I want. Then I can click in to add that image. So this is kind of moving on to the next piece about integrating images in there. So they have thousands and thousands of images available. So you can do a search right in there and they'll use them. You can see there's that built-in Flickr one and story blocks. Those are built right in. So depending on your account set up. I'm using an agency account, so I have easy access to all of these, but they're flagged if you're using a free account, so you'll know which ones you can use or not use. So I've added in that little election thing, and you can see it fits neatly within the smartphone. You can also add in videos, so you can upload videos if you have your own video that you want to use, or you can use their library of hundreds and hundreds of videos that they have on there. Same thing for music. You can add in music and sound effects as you would like to. And there's also the voiceover option. So you could pull in a pre-recorded voiceover, or you could record one in real time. My suggestion, and I've heard this suggested before, if you're going to be doing voiceovers, it's much easier to do that voiceover first, and then you can go back. And then lastly, they have specials, so they've got different kinds of seasonal templates and stuff like that that you can use, if that's what you're looking for. So there's kind of the view of the toolbar there on the right-hand side. There's really a lot to dig into. And once you've got your pieces all moved around, so just kind of looking at this time bar down on the bottom, you can see as you click on them, that blue bar is going to show you at what point they're going to come in to the presentation there, and you can click and drag those around. So if you want something to appear or disappear at a certain point in time, that would be the place that you would do that. And when we're ready to preview it, we've got that black play button on the left, and it's going to play through that slide. So maybe a few things in here aren't acting quite the way that I want to. My face is showing up behind my smartphone, so maybe I want to shift some of those things around. So I can easily click on any of those and adjust. So if maybe I want to play around with the time that comes in comparison to the phone, maybe I want it to show up a little bit earlier and then roll out of the way before the phone. And you can see that black triangle as I drag that around. That will allow me to view at any point along that timeline what will be visible on the slide. So maybe I'm going to scoop my phone over a little bit, just so that will be out of the way. So you can continue to make these adjustments, play and adjust, change, make it look the way that you want it to look. And I actually want that to last all the way to the end. I don't like that flying out kind of in the middle of things. Same thing with my phone. So I click play to preview it. My little head rolls. Phone shows up. Alright, so that looks pretty good. You can't hear the audio on this recording, to add in some sound. So every time I play that, you can hear that music. So same idea, if you had a narration that you had recorded, you could kind of line things up to fit that narration perfectly if you wanted to. So in the effects, actually, you know what? There's one effect I didn't show, and I'm going to use it on my guy over here. So if I again click on the guy, click on the gear, go into the effects. Down at the bottom, this add hand feature kind of has a hand flash in there to place things on there. I think that's a popular effect that we see on many explainer videos like this. Alright, so we can see, make a couple adjustments, get the timing the way I want it, click play, and it's going to run and do that slide so we can see how it looks. I think that one looks fine. Let's kind of move on to other things, I suppose. So we're going to look at the character building option here. I'm going to run through it a couple of times So you can see what it looks like. I have an agency account, so we can see how it looks like on that side, but then also on a free account. You can still do this, but there is a piece I want to show you there. So there are a few templates in here. I'm going to pick this one, then we can kind of customize it. So you can change the face shape, you can add, so this character doesn't have eyes, kind of a stylistic thing. I could add eyes, eyebrows, nose, and a mouth. I'm actually not going to add any of those things. Outfit, I had seen a chef outfit in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to pick that and give my character this chef outfit. I'll do some black pants. So you can pick any of these styles and then you can change the color accordingly. And lastly, shoes. We'll use those same shoes, but we'll fix the color to also be black. Finish. There we go. There's my chef character that I've made. So you can give it a title, and then that character you'll be able to go back, access, over and over. So they could be kind of the host of a presentation that you're putting together, something like that, once we save it. And they'll automatically have the different kind of emotions and features that your characters can have. So just to kind of go into the studio mode so you can see, there's that character over there on the right hand side. So we can, let's go, we click over here. Oh, I guess there's one already on there, so we can just do that. So click up here, you can see there are a variety of different posing options. I know it's not loading. Oh, there we go. But we can make them laugh, walk, run, sit, think. I like this thinking one. So this is with an agency account. So I'm going to jump over to a free account that I have. So kind of go through the same process of making a character, this green astronaut dude that I've made, and we'll see it has that agency tag that shows up there. So, and also you can see down at the bottom it has that Powtoon's watermark. So that is kind of one of the pieces you pay for when you purchase an account. Let's move on to some of the apps and integration pieces on here. So I'm going to start with Powtoon Capture. So when we set this up, there's actually an add-on that you can download for your Chrome browser. Then once you have it set up, you can actually do a screen recording and it will automatically save to your account. So I have that running. I'm just going to let this record for a couple seconds. I'm just going to keep it on my same Powtoon's page. You can see you get a little pop-up up there that tells you when to stop when you're done. So this can be a nice way to do a screen capture something that you would like to integrate into your presentation. And it'll take a little bit to load and save there, but once you have it, it's kind of just another one of those ways that you can enhance your Powtoon creation. And the other ones on here, there's one that you can connect with PowerPoint, so you could actually pull a PowerPoint directly over to Powtoons and use that. Same thing with in any of these they have these little previews, so you can kind of check out if you would like. Same with Adobe Photoshop. If you had that set up, you could pull things across that way. I'm going to show you just kind of when you pull in a PowerPoint what that looks like on here. So obviously if you have PowerPoint, you can migrate that across. If you just have the PowerPoint file type, which if you have Google Slides, for example, you can download a PowerPoint, then it's going to import in there. You can see this one that I'm using, fonts and stuff kind of caused some issues here. So those could be adjusted. I could fix those as needed, but it did pull down all the parts and pieces for the most part. Might need to make some adjustments, but it would be easy to take, say, this slide in here, and it does have the watermark right now. I actually did this on I should have used my agency account, but I'm doing this on a paid account, so that watermark's going to be there. But we can add in some characters pretty easily. We could add in some scenery or sound, anything that you normally would add in to PowerPoint, or add into a Powtoon, I should say. You can do that. So this is a nice way to enhance a presentation, or if you want to kind of create more of an engaging video as opposed to just a static piece. So I'm just going to pull in some kind of generic characters. We'll grab, I guess, this first one. And as we've seen before, you can give them emotions. We can select different emotions and pull that. So, oops. Put this happy waving guy on there. Shrink him down and move him over. We can add another character in there. Actually, should make someone typing. I've got an idea. So get them kind of set up as if that's a desk. So we need to get a chair next. So that would be in the props section. Alright, so in that section, yes, things are categorized in there, so you could go in that way. I'm going to actually just type in the word chair, because I know that's what I'm looking for. And so, because I'm on a free account, this is kind of useful. You can see that there are Pro and Pro Plus items that are in there. So if you select any of those items, those are going to have those watermarks attached to them, just so you know. So I'm actually going to pick this one, and I'm going to flip it around and shrink it and set that chair right to, whoops, wrong button. I want to arrange it. So in the arrangement, I'm going to push it to the back. So she's in front of that chair. So you could just, in any sort of presentation, you could kind of tack in these extra items, and as it's running, those different pieces can fly in and animate and move around however you may need them to. I wanted to wrap things up by showing you the PowToon Connect App. So I have this on my iPhone, and I'm going to go through. So you can upload media. So if you had pictures on your phone, this would be an easy way to get them up there. If you wanted to record a voiceover, phones often have better microphones than your computer might. And you also could play a video, a presentation that you've made. You could kind of project it up to a device and share it that way. You can see there's some playing and sharing options on here. And you can always contact me through either my maine.gov email address that I have listed here. You can reach out to me through my Twitter account, which is also listed. And I did want to mention that this video and other videos will be available through the Maine Department of Education's YouTube channel, which I have our channel name there. So those are definitely great avenues to check out if you're looking for more resources or have questions or concerns. So please feel free to contact me at any time about content in this video, or if you just want to share resources that you think might be of interest to me.